Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. As always, your presence is appreciated. So, we are going to do a book review today, and today's book is called The Gilded Lady by Elizabeth Camden. And this is the cover of the book. It's so pretty. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this book review, alright? This is a period piece that brings to life a time in political history. Carolyn is one of the main characters, and she comes from a well-to-do, high society background. She and her brother Luke have traipsed across the world and have sometimes gotten into mischief. They're like two peas in a pod. However, Carolyn has, to a degree, grown out of taking unnecessary risks and mischief, whereas Luke seemingly has hit a whole nother level of mischief, if that's what you want to call it. So they have a brother named Gray, and he's the oldest, and he has taken over the family business and is pretty straight-laced, by the book, you know. So Carolyn decides to get a job, and she lands a position as secretary to the First Lady of the United States, Miss McKinley. And by the way, President McKinley was our 25th president back in 1897, and he was assassinated in 1901, I think. So during Carolyn's tenure as McKinley's right hand, she encounters what is described as a dapper, good-looking man, and he is the head of security at the White House. Nathaniel is assigned to review, implement security measures at the White House, and protect the safety of the president. Carolyn is prone to bending and sometimes breaking the rules. So she and Nathaniel have some squabbles during their tenure at the White House. So during this time, Luke has gotten himself into some trouble and lands himself in the Cuban jail accused of treason. Luke is being accused of being involved with rebels that were creating a revolution or revolutionary efforts against the U.S. So Carolyn and Gray try to find a way to get Luke out of jail, or at least transferred to an American jail. However, Luke is not cooperating. In speaking with legal representation and trying to figure out how they can get Luke out of jail, he persists and continues to say that he is guilty of the crime he is accused of. So it makes it very difficult to get things done when Luke will not plead not guilty. And so Carolyn is pressed to keep her position at the White House because she believes that her relationship to the first family can gain her an advantage, so she can appeal to the president for a pardon on Luke's behalf. The budding relationship between Carolyn and Nathaniel proves to be beneficial to him and and her in more than one way. Carolyn is high society and has worked in the White House longer than Nathaniel and seems to have allies within the staff. Nathaniel can learn a thing or two by staying in Carolyn's good graces. However, this relationship adds another layer into either the assistance or hindrance of getting Luke released. Nathaniel knows that Carolyn is hiding something, and he is intent on finding out what that is, because it could be a threat to the president. Who knows? Nathaniel has a past, and it's not always kept in the background. The need to protect and carry out the duties of this assignment are weighing on his psyche. I mean, emotionally, physically, mentally, it's taxing. I mean, trying to provide security measures back in a time where there were no cameras, there wasn't the aid of modern technology, there was no bulletproof vehicles. I mean, so keeping a president safe during this period in time was, in my opinion, more difficult than what they have to do today. I mean, because today they have the bulletproof windows, they have cameras, modern technology, the whole, gamut of resources, where back then, I mean, it was just you and the president and not a whole lot else. So at that time, this job was super difficult, especially when they didn't cooperate always. Sometimes, security deems it necessary to do one thing, and the president or first lady is like, no. So getting them to understand that they do need to be protected, and just because you believe that the country loves and supports you does not mean that there aren't some cray people out there that do not support you. So Nathaniel's job is very difficult, and on top of that, he has Caroline that is working for the White House, and he knows that she is hiding something. She's hiding a secret that could potentially be hurtful to the president. So I will let you find out if Nathaniel's past repeats itself. Will Nathaniel assist the family in getting Luke released, or will he throw Carolyn out of the White House for being a possible threat to the president? Will Carolyn and Gray manage to use their resources to get Luke released from jail? Who do they trust? Who do they not trust? Where do they go? Will Luke cooperate? Or will he still say, I'm guilty as charged and I take whatever punishment is due me? Or does he change his plea and get out? I'll let you find out. Will the Cuban rebel plot uncover a larger scheme and the parties involved? I will let you find out. If you read the book, you'll find out. Like I said, this is a period piece. The author does a very good job of intertwining history, mystery, and a love story. I mean, it's kind of, it hits on all of those cylinders, okay? So, it is a good book. It is what I would consider a slow burn. It will intrigue you to keep reading to find out how this thing unravels. But I loved how the author intermingled history into this fictional story. So obviously we did have a president, McKinley, so that's a factoid. He was assassinated. That's another factoid. I didn't research to find out if Miss McKinley had any health conditions or if there was any information about, what her kind of demeanor was or any of that. I didn't research to find out if there was any factoids involving that. However, in this story, Miss McKinley is a piece of work. Like, she had her moments of just not so niceness. It seemed like she had hard moments in life, and due to that and her health, I think played a part in her irritatedness, her irritability, her level of needing to be placated to a degree. But yeah, she was a hot mess in some parts of this story. Her husband was very patient, very patient. I wouldn't say, well, yes, he was doting. He was a doting husband. So there were some twists and turns in the story, as well as some humorous incidents. It is a good read. Slow burn. I give it a 5 out of 5. So click like, click share, subscribe. And if you have read the book, comment your thoughts. I want to know what you think about it. And until next time, keep turning the pages, my book lovers.